There we go. We're recording. Hello, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be playing more Roottrees are Dead. Answer the critical thinking question. Let me know what your favorite snack is. Let me know. I'm a really big goldfish person. Like the cheddar goldfish, oof. You give me one of those bags and it's over. I will consume the entire bag. Like I don't I have no self-control when it comes to goldfish. I have very little self-control. I don't like Cheetos. I haven't liked Cheetos in years, but I have a bag of Flamin' Hot Cheetos specifically on my desk like 75% of the time. It's so over for me. I'm not a huge Cheetos person either. I don't hate them. They're just not my go-to. You know what I mean? Like, how do I like you know like how there's those like those big boxes that come with like a variety of like smaller bags of chips. Like it's usually like Lay's, like Lay's, Doritos, Fritos. I think Cheetos usually in there. I would rather have everything else but the like I would eat everything before the Cheetos. That's not true. I think Fritos might be last, even though Fritos are fine. It's just Fritos are very hit or miss to me. Like, you gotta be in the mood for Fritos. I go ham on any kind of sour cream and onion chip. That's fair. Sour cream and onion is a good flavor. Let me look up what is in those like the blue, you know which one, the blue chip, no, blue chip variety pack, whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, here it is. I found an image. Okay, I found an image. So it looks like it's, oh, there's a lot more than I thought. It looks like there's original Lay's, sour cream and onion Lay's, barbecue Lay's, Cheetos, red Doritos, blue Doritos, and Fritos. And I used to get those boxes all the time in high school so I could have chips in my lunch. No, yeah. That's usually what, like, I think a majority of people, that's like their association with it. It's either that or like, I don't know, actually, what else it would be. Usually, yeah, because that's like, I think that was the main association for me, was like school. Also, the ratio is complete garbage, though. The ratio of chips, like, it's not an even number of chips for each one, right? So, like, this one, it looks like it's 8 original Lay's. It's so garbage, and it pisses me off. And whoever came up with these ratios needs to, like, we need to have a talk. So there's 8 original Lay's. There's 4 sour cream and onion, 4 barbecue, 12 Cheetos. It's too many Cheetos. 12 red Doritos, which I think it's nacho, I believe is what it is. I don't actually remember what the red Dorito flavor is. I think it's nacho. Let me look it up. Yeah, it's nacho cheese. Okay. And then it's Cool Ranch Doritos, which is blue, I assume. That one has 7. And then Fritos also has 7. I would be so I don't get it. I don't know why these are the numbers they picked. Like, is there a math to it? Like, is there some kind of really stupid like logic behind it? Because I don't get it. It pissed me off every time I saw it. It's pissing me off right now when I'm looking at it. Cause like who are like I don't have an issue with like most of these chips in this. I'm just not the biggest fan of like Doritos in general. Like I don't really, those are also just not my personal go-to. It sucks because the ones that have the most are the chips that I don't give a fuck about. I don't really care about Cheetos. I don't really care about Doritos, and I don't care about Fritos. Like if you like those chips, this is perfect for you. You know what I mean? But if you don't and you prefer like the Lay's, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? Like Cheetos are like I'm like pretty neutral against them. Like it's very I need to be in a mood for them. You know what I mean? But like I won't go out of my way to get them. So like having Cheetos in there is fine, but not 12. I don't need 12 of them. You know? It's like I don't like. And then with Doritos, it's kind of like it's whatever. Like it's just not my. It's also not my go-to, but they're fine. And then Fritos, which like I'm not the biggest fan of. Like I said, like I don't need 7 of them. With Fritos, I haven't had Fritos in a while. With Fritos, I felt like I'm eating like the driest chip in the world. Popcorn's a good snack. Popcorn is a really good snack. If we ever do a chip tier list, I feel like I'm gonna make enemies. Even though I don't think I have very hot like takes about chips. I just feel like it's gonna be like the candy tier list where we put like Swedish Fish towards the bottom and people are gonna be upset, you know? I love Swedish Fish. I love chewing. That's fine. I always say it whenever we do these kind of things where it's like these are our opinions. It's fine if you like something more. I can't do it. Let me close this before I go on another fucking chip tangent. I'm just not a huge. I'll be real. I don't remember the last time I had Swedish Fish, but also like I'm not a huge fan of like chewy like gummy candy. I think it's because I just hate getting stuff stuck in my teeth. I think that's why. Now, like I said, I haven't had it in a while, so maybe my opinion's changed. It hasn't, but maybe, maybe. You never know. I do hate getting stuck in my teeth, but my innate need to chew overpowers it. That's fair. I get it. I get it. Fuck Tootsie Rolls though. I'm not afraid to say it. Fuck them. I don't care. What the fuck is a Tootsie Roll? Somebody tell me. We got any Tootsie Roll like fans in chat? Make yourself known. It's okay. It's a safe space. I promise. Oh, you like them, Lee? Oof. Lee, we're gonna have to have a talk after this. We're gonna have to have a talk. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's chocolate taffy. I don't get it. No, I don't care. I've just like, I think I've tried, because it's like, it's one of those like candies that like you always got for Halloween. And like, I think every time I would try to have one and I would just not like it. Because like, it's one of those candies where it's like, it looks like chocolate, but that's not what you're getting. You know? And most of the time on Halloween, you're getting a lot of those motherfuckers. You're getting a lot of Tootsie Rolls because they're small and you can just throw them in a basket and be like, oh, look at that. Like I said, if you like them, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. It was a bit. It was a bit, I promise. I'm trying to think of like what else was like awful. Not I'm like exaggerating, but like candy that was like kind of like, why? You know what I mean? Like, this isn't for me, clearly. Piano hates his only mod. I couldn't. Was it Dots? Is Dots like the candy that would just? It was like the little pieces of candy on like the. Lee, I can't do this, Lee. Lee, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this, Lee. I can't keep doing this. I can't. I can't keep doing this. You know, we're just gonna. We know I gotta end the conversation. Let's just go to the game. There's no point. Let's just go. Let's just switch gears. I'm gonna fucking set up the Bluesky. We're gonna move on with our lives. There's no point. Next, you're gonna tell me you like Mike and Ike's. I do like a good Mike and Ike. Mike and Ike is like, I understand why you do, because you mentioned like you just like chewing on it, and like those chewy candies, so I get it. But like Mike and Ike's is like it's that. Mike and Ike's is so unbelievably chewy. I just can't. I can't. Like, I didn't even have to go off on Dots, because I think Dots is very self-explanatory. It's literally a dot of candy on a piece of paper. It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I love hot tamales. They're basically Mike and Ike but cinnamon. That's fine. I feel like I gotta be clear one more time. Eat what you like. Eat what you like. This is all jokes, but it's all like exaggerations. But Yeah, it's food. Like I'm not like actually being judgmental here. My opinions are real. Like if I'm not personally vibing with something, but it's exaggerated. But no, I cannot understand. I can understand hot tamales. That's like I was gonna mention hot tamales, but like because they're not also another candy that's just not for me. Where are we? Civil War? Yeah, I'll just because like I don't. Like I said, I don't really like chewy candies because it gets stuck. It just gets stuck in your teeth and it's just so annoying. I mean, like I said, I don't understand dots. I don't get it, but that's it. I'd kill a man over an Almond Joy. Almond Joys are fine. I think they're fine. That's a candy that's like it's whatever. Like I get it. I do love a good taffy. That's cool. Taffy it's too chewy for me. I can't do it. Maybe if it's like really good, maybe. Maybe that's it. Maybe I just haven't had a good taffy, you know? Maybe that's my problem. You know? I'm still keeping Swedish Fish towards the bottom of the tier list, but you know. Because I don't give a fuck. Like, what am I gonna do? Go back on it? No. To be fair, I do like a bad taffy too. So what does that mean? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? What are we talking about? What's to do with those little tiny gummy sodas? Oh, yeah, those ones are like... Also another chewy candy. Chewy gummy candy. That's like... Alright, what are we doing? Oh my god. Don't even get me started on licorice. Don't even get me started. That's a 30-minute conversation. Not really. I just don't eat it. I just don't eat licorice. I just don't eat licorice. Is licorice, before we get started on these affairs, is licorice supposed to be like cherry flavored? Because it's red, right? When I see something that's red, I assume it's gonna be liquor. It's gonna be like cherry, strawberry. Okay, that's fine. I haven't had a lot of licorice, so I can't. Like, my opinion is, yeah, I'm not gonna eat it because that's a candy that like, who you eat it, it's getting stuck in your teeth. It's over for you. Alright. I think we need to get into the game. Before we get started, let me be clear. These are just my opinions. A lot of them exaggerated. Eat what you like. Life is too short to care about the opinions of some random person on the internet. This is all jokes and exaggerations. Fuck dots though. Anyways. Okay, so we have a lot going on. So we finished the main tree. So we finished the main tree, and yeah, we figured out a lot. Now, because of a loophole, not even a loophole, just how the Clanstead Trust was built, a lot of people are coming out of the woodworks due to affairs and stuff, so that they can get their portion from the Clanstead Trust. So now we're gonna figure it out! Okay, let's see this. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It has been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. The 6 Pieces. Sam Madsen's book about Elias Rootree was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months at the time. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. The Roottree Rift. In March, the Roottrees company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release, with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Clark was announced as the permanent successor to Carl Roottree and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clanstead Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. The 5 Ps? After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be the Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move at the same time. 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Okay. Roottree Mania. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Roottree publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a Roottree. The Rootree's legal team has then offered to do a DNA test to get 5 Ps to drop his claim. And, in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a Roottree. Oh my god! Suddenly the world was obsessed with the Roottrees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottree. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as Anonymom, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with the Roottree led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Roottree. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottree, and therefore entitled to a share of the Clanstead Trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter in the Roottree Mania saga. As more and more of Anonymom's stories came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5 Pieces in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn. Confirming the world's suspicions, the DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a Roottree. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottree Mania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it seems like a distant memory. Jesus. You think these guys like chewy candy? Anyways. We really don't need to read this. We know what's happening. It hasn't been that long. I still in my throat. They make Mabel candy, I would hope so. That's true, you're right. Oh, never mind. We might need to read this. Is this not... This is just a previous thing, right? Blizzard minus some of the most notable beats. Yeah, it's founded. Was this? Yeah, Boulder County. Last call ran around the cover of magazines. Lauren, Miracle Gym. Right, they had like albums, books, movies. Yeah, her 2 diaries, the 5 Pieces. 5 presidents. Right, Chris Rafferty. Via Brian Jones's company's website. We didn't find it through that. We just guessed. Right, and then Ron and Robbie. Okay. Okay. Then we have this, which is just a description, I guess. Today, August 3rd, 1999, there was a knock at your door. Clark Rafferty LaRue, the current president of the Roottrees Candy Company, explained that multiple people have come out of the woodwork to claim to be Roottrees. He has been trying to work with Sam, but she has not answered his calls. He also handed you a letter that he said you could share with Sam that said the following. To both of you. The company I hired to help us with the Clanset Trust is busy pouring through the entire family's history, as well as people that they may have had contact with. In my throat! Somebody save me! They may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are actively avoiding our interviews. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headache, so please, I don't mind if you do your research, but I ask that you stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We are ready to and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could be realistically part of a relationship that led to the birth of a new Roottrie. Just tell us who to investigate by filling in the news section of the news sections of the tree, and we'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. But keep in mind why we're here. If someone didn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers, like in the case of the girl with the negative DNA test, there won't be a place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities. We're only looking for the ones that led to potential new Roottrees. Some spots in the news sections will be marked with a tree icon. Those areas are reserved for members of the original family tree you filled in 8 months ago. Just like last time, be sure to use birth names for everyone you add. Married names or nicknames won't be enough. To start sorting out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in positions of power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without the family noticing, but I can't. I'll be blunt. I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit. Consequences be damned. I can't change the past or unhurt those who I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you. Refuse to make any more mistakes and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. So please, fill in the tree, and together we can figure out how to make amends. Good luck, and thank you both. Clark. Why is he just standing like that? Okay, so we do have some notable people. I guess we can start looking up 5Ps, right? Jesus, whoever this is. Oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Five affairs? Is this what this is? Oh my god. Oh yeah, this would be 5Ps. You're right. Because he's the only notable person. Okay. To the internet! Okay. Okay, please. It's handshaking. It's acknowledging. It's preparing. Connected. Let me in, please. Okay. All right. Spider search. 5 Ps. Five Ps, aka Felix Fellows, is a rapper who has found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Roottrees and entitled to part of their fortune. His alias, 5 Ps, is a play on 5 pieces. An article you find on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music gives his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason. With the headline, "More poser than my action figure collection." The reviews mention his real name is David and used to go by Dirty Davy. And the author rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt at the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. Jesus. Apparently, only one of the songs on the album is new, okay, and the others was simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago on the cover of News Time, holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. Oh, okay. At first, the Roottrees company denied vehemently. Miracle Roottrees even appeared on the same magazine a week later. But since then, they've backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family. The press release at the time stated that they had new evidence that confirmed the story. Jesus. Okay. So, let's do a few things. We're gonna look up News Time, so that way we can have that as a periodical. Yeah. Famously appeared on the cover claiming to be a Roottrees. Then 1 week later, Miracle Roottrees did the same, denying that he was. Because of the high point of back-to-back discourse right before the start of the Roottrees mania, they appeared to be the de facto publication to get news about the ongoing Roottrees saga. They reported record subscriber numbers during this time, which lasted until the end of Roottrees mania, when the world generally stopped paying much attention, and they went back to reporting a more traditional news. Fair. Okay, so his name is David. We know that. So let's try and fill this out. Also, did we get a picture? No, but we can probably find one. Yeah. So whoa, this is different. Oh wow, they like made it more difficult. Wow, very smart. Very, very smart. Okay. So his name is David, but that's not what we know. His first name's David, and we need to find out the last name. Okay. Wow. Because I don't know if his last name is the same. I don't know if it's still Fellows or not. It could be, but we'll see. Unless it is just David Fellows, but we'll see. Oh, can we find the root of all evil? Hold on. Ah, we did, but okay. Root of All Evil is 5 P's debut album. According to various sources, the album is mostly material that 5 P's recorded for his mixtapes before it became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences in professional production. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. After dropping the single, 5 P's announced he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. My God. Okay, this is a name though, so let's look up Stevie Whitlock. We're going down some kind of path here. Alright, what's this? None of it's related. This is not grandstanding still. She's managed to rack up a few legal stories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the 1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000. but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Really cool. Good for her. Can I look up all your problems, maybe? Let's see. Oops, I did something wrong. It's not highlighting. Let me highlight. There we go. There we go. Okay. Only song on the album, the subject matter of the song is the hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it. Those that can afford not to be greedy. What are you talking about? What? What? In the song, Five Piece triumphantly talks about taking the Roottrees' wealth due to it being his birthright and giving to those who need it most. You find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website and download it to your records. Am I reading this wrong? He points out that the only people who think money is evil are those that have it. Okay, no, okay, I see what he's saying. Okay. I was like really confused for a second. Now I understand a little more. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what else is here? I don't think anything else here. We could look up Dirty Davy. Yeah, we can also go in the periodical. Yeah. Fellows is not Five Piece. Actually, his birth name was David Fellows. Okay. Another Dirty Devil and Dirt Poor. Can I look these up? Based on some of the pop culture references with the range, though. Okay. One of the songs goes, "Yes, I Can Jump," seems to be at the center of the confusion. The song looks on them, though, because there's very little evidence of the mixtape online as it is, it's even hard to verify the information. Okay, whatever. And then Dirt Poor. Was the mixtape by Dirty Davy released in 1986? There's a lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, Felix Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin, Raina, in a list of attractive women. The lyrics on one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s, and provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows felt about them. When re-released in 99, much of the rhetoric was toned down to be less overly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to a character from the X-Files. Okay. Okay. So his name is David Fellows. Occupation is musician. My God. Oh, is this the song? This is gonna get me banned. It received some airplay, but it didn't make a big splash critically or commercially. Still, it's kind of catchy. Yeah, I gotta play it.
Attention, Roottrees. This is Five Piece coming at you from the real world. You know, the
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all your
Man,
problems.
y'all are hypocrites, sitting back in your massive estates. from the cash that your ancestors gave you, acting like you somehow deserve it based on your family's creations. Yo, but look at here, sonny, don't you come for our money or you're buried in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick and her two dads. My past place of trust should keep you away. Yo, it's disturbing catching a sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners cause we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. But instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just what
Fuck.
You say money is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Oh my god.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan
David needs to get a majority of the inheritance. He needs to make more music.
That's actually extortion with your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play
My
that
God.
game. I came up on the streets, the only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's. Top off my pockets, please. Cause the same guy that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? But you to live in poverty, and if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtrooms, decorum. I'm way past your fancy ass doorman.
Oh my god.
Money is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Bring the choir.
Bring the choir in.
Money is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away. You say money is a root of all your problems. Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. Whoever calls dollars the root of
I like that he's making so many references to Miracle. The Miracles are asses. I mean, yeah.
silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons.
That was insane. That was awesome. Wow. That was great. I think Nate's right. I think we do need to give him all the money. Oh my god. What the hold up. What was the line? There was a line about him, but I don't remember where it was. I don't know. I do think it makes sense why he's trashing Miracle. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Good for him. Was it news time? Maybe? What was his, just 5Ps probably? There we go. Felix Fellows, aka 5Ps, famously appeared on the cover of News Time, kicking off Roottrees Mania. Then a week later, Miracle Roottrees appeared on the cover of the magazine, in an article that focused heavily on 5Ps as well. A summary of both articles, as well as a close-up of the photo of 5Ps is holding on the cover of his issue, have been added to your evidence. Okay. There we go. Oh, right, and it's supposed to be, it's a photo of Guy with, Yeah, he claims that Joanna and Guy Hudson were having an affair that led to his birth. Oh, we get a Miracle picture. Miracle's had some affairs for sure. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is him. Musician, so that's done. And then mother, who is Joanna something. I don't think it's Fellows. Some Roottrees family picnic. Okay. Jesus. Well, if it is, well then this would have to be Guy, who had 5 affairs. Jesus. Oh, weird. So, I guess for the names that were already in the original family tree, we just get the names. But for the ones we have to figure out, we have to figure out both the first name and last name. It's Joanna something, but if she worked for Zach as a secretary? Yeah, it just says Roottrees family picnic. I don't know if we could find anything about. Maybe we can find out about that in Butler County Times. No, I spelled it wrong. I think I spelled multiple things wrong. No, just Roottrees. No, still nothing. I don't know how to get the first name. Not sure, we could look up Miracle. Or, I guess we can look up Miracle in news time. Miracle. The article from the issue with Miracle on the cover was added to your evidence. Okay. Does it say anything? Oh, there's a lot. I forgot. I guess we should read this. Miracle Roottrees appeared on the cover of News Time shortly after 5P's did. He vehemently denied that 5P's was a Roottrees. The article was from before the DNA test that proved it. Miracle doesn't focus much on the details of 5P's accusations regarding his mother and Guy Hudson. Instead, he comes across as exhausted at the events that have been going on behind the scenes, as well as the character of those he feels are attacking his family. He starts with 6 pieces content. He says that most of the book was based in fact. Although most of the book was based in fact, it left out anything that wouldn't fit the agenda. He points out Sam's daughter still earns a generous salary for overseeing the farm division of Roottrees, and that Sam did the same before her. That Sam's family was not destitute, and that really it was only her son who chose to take on a job with no salary. He claims that though they didn't have to, the family helped pay for her son's medical bills after voting that it was the right thing to do. Miracle also says that the story about his father, Elias, shunning EC was one-sided, leaving out Edward Clancy's blame in the whole thing. Elias gave him a simple ultimatum: stop sinning or be disowned. Miracle says it was EC's own choice and that Elias allowing him to earn food and shelter on the company's dime was a kindness, especially considering that he and John continue to live together. Wow, so you're just an awful human being. Also, who's this in the reflection? Miracle then pivots to the fallout from 6 Pieces. He recounts a deluge of claims to the clan's trust that the family had been subjected to. He doesn't cite any specifics, but says that every time someone comes forward, the family devolves to arguments. They've had to hire an outside legal team to help, but so far, every case has been demonstrably laughably false. All they do is tarnish his family's reputation. He focuses on 5Ps, who appeared on News Time before him. He calls him a grifter and a delinquent, and says he is using their real name and products to sell filth to the masses. Of all the accusations, he says that this is the most dangerous because it exposes the world to hatred. Really, dude? Really? He cites 5P's lyrics as violent, sexist, and ungodly, and prays the boy will repent, retract his lies, and find religion. Lastly, he turns to the future. Miracle states that those that wish to hear the true story can join him on his farewell tour this upcoming fall. The Miracles Roottrees are planning on touring the Miracles Roottrees. Go fuck yourself. Oh my god. The country's churches one last time, and that now at age 71, Miracle is the oldest living Roottries. While he plans to continue preaching at his own church in Butler County after the tour, this is your last chance to hear the truth from the man with the most complete recollection of one of America's most notable families in your own hometown. The article mentions that Miracle's son, Miracle Jr., did not wish to comment and has a statement from Clark Rafferty LaRue through the Roottrees law firm. Miracle does not speak for his entire family. We're working carefully on a plan to definitely disprove any claims of infidelity in our family's past. The article also does not refute Miracle's claim that he's the oldest living Roottree, despite Sam Matson being born a year before him. It was unclear if Miracle made the claim out of ignorance or spite. Bro, you are not seeing the pearly gates. Okay. Let me drink some water. Hold on. Jesus, my mic, please. Okay. Also, Sam is 72 because damn shit looks 72. No, not at all. Maybe we can look up something about like the farewell tour he's doing. Let's see. Miracle farewell tour. There we go. Sees Miracle Sr. is going on a new tour of the United States in late 1999. The previous flyer for 3 generations of Miracles has been replaced. Be a part of history. The oldest living Roottrees reprises and retells his incredible story. Oh my god. Right, he was destined to die young. He has lived a long and fruitful life. However, he's now in his 70s and his age is beginning to make life on the road more difficult. So consider this your last chance to see him in a town near you before he settles back in Pennsylvania. In this intimate evening, Miracle will reminisce about his famous history. He'll discuss his family's saints and sinners and provide a unique perspective of one of the most notable families in the United States today. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion, and learn how his away from his fortune, really, and learn how his family has become more wealthy in spirit than it ever could have been from his inheritance. The site also lists the churches he will be appearing in and mentions the tickets can be purchased at their local services. Noticeably absent are any mentions about Miracle's news appearances. Okay. Oh, there's an older version. What? Production company run. You find a website. Okay, what's different? Oh, is this just the original one? I think so. Okay. Okay, now we need to read... Oh my god, this one. Somebody save me. Appeared on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. The article concerns his insistence that his father was Guy Hudson. The story was dramatic and sensational, initially dismissed as fake until a DNA test proved he was related to Guy Hudson. 5P says that his mother, Joanna, was Zach Morton's secretary when he retired. And then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit. The first few weeks that he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4, after his father learned of the affair. Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid for her and her son's life. He grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked the register. The next morning, they found her dead from an overdose in her car. She had stolen all the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. As Felix went through her belongings, the only things he had to remind her by were a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. But then he found it, a box hidden in the back of her closet. Inside were love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away, with the exception of the one photo he appears with on the cover of News Time. He says it was the only one where they were dressed. Wow, Jesus. The only one not from the affair itself. The picture shown in full inside the magazine was add to your evidence. The magazine also includes some additional history about 5P's career. Felix Fellows was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but has never rapped without a moniker. He tried to find success by opening for other artists and even by selling CDs on the street corners in Portland. He has only recently started going on as 5P's to harness the power of his lineage. The writers did some research into the truth of these claims and was able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Roottrees company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid-70s. It also confirmed she died of a drug overdose and that Felix went into foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. They also reached out to the Roottrees company, but at the moment the company's blanket statement was, since the release of a recent book, Roottrees has seen an overwhelming number of false ancestral claims. None of it factual, and nearly all have been knowingly dishonest. We encourage individuals to reach out to us in an official capacity as opposed to attempting to use our name in the media for publicity. Okay. So we know the father's name is Riley. So Riley Fellows. And then we don't know the mother's original name. Like original last name. Oh, but her most recent occupation would have been like cashier. What else? I was hoping to find something else from this picture, but it doesn't seem like I can. We know that she was Zach Morton's secretary, but like I don't know what I can find with that. Like, would she appear on the website? Like, I don't know, it's like Roottrees employees or something, right? I don't know. Zach Morton. No, I'm not gonna. There's no way I'm gonna get anything from this. I don't know how to get her last name. Let's see something. It did refer to her as a Fellows, but I think only because she married Riley Fellows, and whenever 5Ps was born, that's just what her name was. It was Joanna Fellows. But we need her original last name. It's true, we don't have anything else yet, but we'll see. We'll probably end up finding something else. Let's see, what else can we look up? Oh, that's true, I can't put Guy's occupation. This is true, I forgot. He was the... Oh god, which president was he? Was he the third? Oh god, where was he? Here. Yeah, he was the third. There we go. Okay. Jesus, Guy had 5 affairs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh god, there's another top secret. Somebody save us. Somebody save us. Okay, where do we... I was hoping I could find her last name. Oh, where did she die? Because it said there was a news article about it, right? No, it doesn't look like it. I could... What if I just look up Guy Hudson? I was gonna look up stuff about Anonymom in a second. Oh, Lord. Guy Hudson, who was the only president of Roottrees for a few years in the late 70s and early 80s, is mostly faded into obscurity except for the Fancy Flavors debacle. Oh, right. I remember. It was the... because he wasn't a good president. And the only thing he really did was Fancy Flavors, and it didn't do well. Because he wanted to add, like, caviar as a flavor, I think. What a freak. During Roottrees Mania, he suddenly rose to prominence against after 5Ps appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy and his mother. A few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, and they often got very out of hand. This fact had led some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash, he was drunk or impaired in some way. But the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively that it was not foul play, and that no party had taken place. Roottrees lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation to anyone who has tried to disparage Guy or the company in public. Yeah, it was the Fancy Flavors debacle, and he basically wanted to like add new flavors that like really would not would not resonate with anybody who has candy, and one of them was caviar, and I think it had like one of the lowest sales in the company's history, and he decided to just backtrack on it and be like, yeah, it was just a limited time thing. We weren't really keeping this. Caviar is an insane choice. I don't get it. I guess we haven't looked up Roottrees Mania yet, have we? Okay. Roottrees Mania mainly followed the announcement that a rapper going by 5Ps was actually a Roottrees. Collectively, popular culture seemed to focus on the Roottrees family and 5Ps for a few weeks before anything felt oversaturated and society moved on. Because of the 5P saga, an underlying through line to how pop culture treated Roottrees Mania was an excuse for everyday people to claim they were also Roottrees. Daytime talk shows had I'm a Secret Roottrees episodes. I'm gonna highlight this real quick. Late night hosts and guests made jokes about other lost members of the family, and there was a widely shared website where you could fill in your own name to find out if you were a secret Roottrees. When you submitted your name, it simply said no with an image of Clark Rafferty LaRue giving you the finger. I want to go to the website. Roottrees Mania lasted only a few weeks, just long enough for 6 pieces to re-enter the charts and to trigger new printings of other Roottrees related media. This included Lauren's diaries, VHS releases of Gwyn's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, which mostly seemed to attempt to capitalize on the Roottrees sisters, Carl and Brenda. These re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze. As a result, most of them were failures, and countless novelty t-shirts had variations of I'm a Secret Roottrees became immediately unfashionable, though some people still wear them ironically. Oh, is that... That's why the shirt is on the title screen. Okay. Got it. Let's see. Secret. Oh, okay. Nothing happens. That's fine. I doubt this is important then. Okay. Let's look up Anonymom. Okay. Yeah, I also want one of those shirts. I think it's awesome. Anonymom was the second high-profile case about actor Felix Fellows of a potential new Roottrees being added to the Clancy Trust. Instead of claiming herself a Roottrees, however, she claimed she'd slept with Guy Hudson and that her daughter was a Roottrees. The accusation came during the height of Roottrees Mania and began with a brief TV interview. She appeared in the shadows with a disguised voice and promoted an article about herself in Newstime. In the TV interview and the article, she referred to her daughter as Jane Doe Roottrees. The name Anonymom was not self-inflicted. It seemed to spring up organically because nobody knew how else to refer to her. The day after the Newstime article, Sam Manson publicly supported Anonymom due to some parts of the story she found particularly credible. With the momentum from Sam's endorsement, Anonymom went on a media blitz. Ultimately, this backfired. As more details came out, some people became skeptical of her story due to the extreme similarity to 5Ps. Her accusation even included many of the same details as his mother's story. This included her job, secretary, and the time period, late 70s. After fumbling the 5P story so publicly, the Roottrees were more prepared to handle all Clancy Trust-related cases. Within a week, a DNA test proved that Anonymom's daughter could not be related to the Roottrees. This was announced at a joint press conference with lawyers representing both Anonymom and the Roottrees. Each party ensured their respective clients provided accurate samples. Immediately after the negative result was released, many of those who had already been skeptical felt vindicated. Others, who had built up hope that history could repeat itself after 5Ps, felt duped. Many people suspected the whole affair had been a hoax to gain fame and money. Many demanded that Anonymous be held accountable, and some people even began to attempt to track down her identity. The Roottrees company felt pressure to put out a second statement to try to curb some of the backlash, even going so far as to say, though it was scientifically proven that Jane Doe Roottrees is not a Roottrie, this doesn't mean that her mother and Guy Hudson were not involved in an affair. She had every right to make her claim, as it has been verified that her stories about Guy Hudson were not exaggerations. Please leave their family alone. Many claim this high-profile anticlimax and public backlash was the beginning of the end for Roottrie mania, since much of the fun was the shared fascination about secret Roottries. Others think, like any fad, it just ran its course naturally. Regardless, this was the final notable event related to the release of 6 pieces, and things soon went back to normal. Jane Doe Roottries has already been eliminated as a potential new Roottrie by the company's lawyers, who are the ones verifying your work. Anonymous affair does not appear on your updated tree. Okay. So that means Guy had 6 affairs? Are we being for real, Guy? Come on. What are we doing, bro? Like, at least. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? Come on. Be serious. But that does mean Anonymous had a Newstime article. Yeah. An anonymous woman appeared on the cover of Newstime holding a picture of her daughter, Jane Doe Roottries. The first and only mention of the phrase Anonymous in Newstime came the week after, when they issued an apology for featuring her in the first place. Okay. Oh yeah, there's nothing here. Here we go again is insane. Was not a Roottries article which referred to her daughter's Jane Doe Roottries would not come in the phrase. Appeared on the cover of Newstime shortly after 5Ps was confirmed to be a member of the Roottries family. In an homage to the previous cover, she holds a photo of her daughter, unlike 5Ps. She wished to remain anonymous, and both photos were obscured. An anonymous woman claimed to have had an affair with Guy Hudson while she was working as a secretary. She and another woman were hired at the same time. During her transition period, many of the secretaries that had worked under Zach Morton were already gone. She says that she and the other woman were both underqualified and neither had typewriter experience. According to other staff members interviewed, Guy had his own requirements for hiring women. Guy Hudson liked to throw lavish parties, and the longer he was president, the more excuses he found. The anonymous woman posits that these parties mostly seem to be an excuse to have after parties at Guy's home, featuring much more alcohol and other substances. He claimed she slept with him at one of these parties. She confronted Guy when she found out she was pregnant. Guy didn't seem phased, and they came to an arrangement. He paid her a significant amount of hush money on a recurring basis under the table. She used it to move away to start a new life with her daughter. When Guy died, the money stopped coming, and she assumed things had run their course. She went back to work at the department store and hoped that nobody would ever look too closely at how she paid for her house. She told everyone that her daughter's father walked out one day and never came back. She claimed that after seeing the fantastic article in Newstime, she realized that she wasn't the only one this happened to. While she never worked at the Roottries company at the same time as 5P's mother, Joanna, their stories seemed eerily similar, and she knew Felix was telling the truth right away. The article presented no tangible evidence of the anonymous woman's time at Roottries, and all of the payments were allegedly made in cash. However, using details that she provided to Newstime, the reporters were able to reach out to the other women hired at the same time, who also remained anonymous. They successfully fact-checked the timeline of both women and confirmed the existence of the infamous after-parties. 5P's case was strengthened, and this news story was subsequently published. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. Dun, 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 dun. I still don't know how I'm gonna get her last name. I'd like to call it White Men Can't Jump. Okay. We can probably look up Roottrees after parties. I'll look that up in a second. What? Come out in 1992, but others point out that Fellows references seeing the movie on his 17th birthday. This would have been in 1994. Okay. He stated multiple times that he was just a dumb kid when it was released. Okay. And then what? The other one was Dirt Poor. Oh, right. I remember now. The song Heat. That's not gonna work. Ah, my eye. It's possible that Joanna is just Fellows, yeah. Well, regardless, let's see. Look up Roottrees after parties. No. No, nothing there. Well, I guess the next best thing is looking up 6 Pieces. It's not spelled like that. There. And then we can even find the book under public library, probably. 6 Pieces, Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madsen, was released in early 1999 and perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash, shot to the top of the charts. Reviews were mixed, and its time on the bestsellers list was limited to only 2 months. Most reviewers agree that the core of the book, about Samantha's father and the struggles they faced, was compelling, and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Ricci was deserved. However, many took umbrage with the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. The fallout from the book led to the Roottrees company scrambling to release a statement, and due to a conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. Great. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture due to a late-night sketch about indecisionitis, but more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottrees Rift. A few months later, due to the Roottrees mania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. Let's look up the Roottrees Rift. And then we'll look up the book. The 3 press releases from the Roottrees Candy Company after the release of 6 Pieces were referred to as the Roottrees Rift due to the clear conflicts between them. The first was fairly standard. It stated that there was no president of the Roottrees Company, but that the entire family was made aware of the release of the book, and that they would be meeting as soon as possible. Only then could they verify the legitimacy of the claims it raised, and to decide next steps. The second release was emailed to business newspapers 3 hours later and announced that after a vote, Ron Roottrees would be taking over temporarily as interim president. It also went on to state that Ron was aware of the book and had verified the claims within and would look into compensating Mrs. Madsen and her family immediately. It also stated that the company lawyers would be taking immediate steps with the family to revisit the Clancy Trust's terms to make sure nothing like this could ever happen again. My God, making Ron the interim president? Okay. It was quickly clear to business reporters and analysts that the time between the 2 press releases would not have been logistically sufficient to gather a majority of the family, even using conference calls. This was reported on many news channels, and a third, much shorter press release came the next day. It claimed that a draft of the announcement was made prematurely, and that Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottrees would be taking over as the company's first joint presidents. It also stated that any compensation planned would be based on a stringent verification process. Okay. Jesus. Okay, now we can go to the book. So it's this. Sam Madsen. Okay. The truth about Elias Roottrees, as well as Sam's fathers, Edward Clancy Roottrees and John Miller. You helped verify her story so much that the board's core contents are familiar to you. That said, Sam had some sections on our family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter on the primary page of the book, and somehow it is new to you, and may be important to your search. These sections have been added to your notes. Sick. Need more water! Okay. There is one thing that's kind of important for me to highlight, though. And that's the fact that apparently Ron and where is it? That Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottrees will be taking over as joint presidents. Because that feels important. Okay. Oh god, is it another like journal type thing? Okay, no, it's not. I still don't think we have anything we can fill out. I don't think we've learned about another affair quite yet. This one goes fucking long, Jesus. Okay, let's learn about whatever secrets there are. Sam's book had a few different passages about her own history with the company and the rumors and gossip she collected during that tenure. She ran the farm for a period starting around 1968, after the death of Elias Roottrees, until her daughter Gwyneth took over in 1984. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Sam was very much not a fan of Guy, and according to Six Pieces, there was an open secret within the family that Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife, Patricia. Oh my god. Many of their hires at the time were young single women, and Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. Ugh. Oh my god. This was 20 years ago, and Sam warns that most of it is hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter, who Sam never met, but worked as one of Guy's secretaries. Okay. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to a pregnancy. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Okay. I need a whole page just for Guy's affairs, like, in my notebook. Like, Jesus. Guy is awful. Let me be more specific. Guy Hudson is awful. Okay. Yeah, Guy, you piece of shit. Okay, so this it was a party. Yeah, party was for swingers. Oh my god. Welcome back, Nate. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding to markets previously untapped by Roottrees. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time, and Guy was known for spending more time and money on official business than meeting with distributors and manufacturers. It was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. Oh my god. I don't know if this is important, but Jesus. There is also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated. That Elias may have cheated on Gwyneth. Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she had no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage, instead of it being a natural course of events. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about another woman. Oh my god. Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth from the supervisor on this farm, okay? But she never met her. Jeez, okay. So if these affairs are in order from, like, the years, then chances are this is the first infidelity with someone named Elizabeth, maybe? Maybe? Well, yeah, that's something that makes sense. Yeah, it would be Elias Roottrees with somebody named Elizabeth, who was a secretary. Elias was the first president. Elizabeth would have been a secretary. Okay. I do have a... am I gonna have to get another picture of Elias, I guess? Okay, that's fine. I'll find one. Okay, we can look up the restaurant, Antonelli's. Antonellis, however you say it. Oh, okay. So we'll go to Butler County Times. Antonellis. Here we go. Wait, so the owner... No, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's. Okay. So not necessarily the owner. Italian restaurant has been in the Butler County Times twice. The most recent time was when it closed in 1992. The owner, Rochelle Zimmer, sold the land the building was on, and at the time of the article, she was unsure if the restaurant would move to a new location or if she would retire. Many years before that, there's a puff piece from Valentine's Day 1978 that asked if recently married residents of Butler County how they met. Christine Garland responded, she and her husband Steve, who was a chef at Antonelli's, met years ago when she delivered produce from her mother's farm. Steve used to work extra hours just to be there during her deliveries. Although they grew apart when the restaurant switched suppliers, they reconnected by chance and eloped at the end of the last year. Now she has a bun in the oven, and they're both working as much as they can. She's a secretary, but went back to delivering produce on the weekends. Trying to save up money to move to Boston and open their own restaurant. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. So the husband met her at a party and they eloped due to the pregnancy. Okay. Right, it would be like the 1977 affair probably. Yeah. Well, yeah, but do we know... I don't know when the affair, like which year these affairs happened, actually. think it would only be this one, because one child, but I don't know. Yeah. I think this one is probably going to be Christine. Did it say both of their names in the piece? It just says Steve. Oh, my back. It's possible she has her own restaurant now. So what if we look up Christine Garland? I think it's the first one. What, the one right here? Like, this one? It can't be because the notable person would have been David. Oh, the second affair? It's possible. It's definitely possible. Oh, 2 children, 1 from affair, 1 from marriage. We can find out. Let me see if I can look up Christine Garland here. That would make sense. Fuck, is it Christine? Back to periodical. It is. Weird. God, I just opened up every page. How about Steve Garland? Oh, that's true. We can look up Rochelle Zimmer. Nothing there. I think I spelled it right. Yeah. How about Boston? Can we just look up Boston? Steve Garland. Fuck. Because it's from 78, so it's definitely possible that she has a restaurant by now. I can try looking them up here. Okay, how about just specifically Rochelle Zimmer then? Oh, yeah, here we go. Rochelle and her husband Mark Zimmer have a few mentions in the Butler County Times. Both are local business owners. Rochelle owned Antonelli's, an Italian restaurant, and Mark owned a local bookstore called Bookmarks, both closed in '92. Mark was also mentioned once in the Butler County Times when he was sued by Steve Garland. So let's see. I thought I looked up Steve. Guess not. Okay, Steve Garland is mentioned in a couple of articles. The first was an article about how he met his wife Christine when he worked at Antonelli's. The second is from months later in September of 1978, a listing for his weekend cooking classes, Gourmet for the Groovy. The blurb mentions that he's been giving lessons from his home kitchen for the last month, so that he can keep an eye on his son. The third was from 1991, and it is titled, Local Author Sued by Former Butler County Resident. It seems that a local author by the name of Mark Zimmer was sued by Garland after Garland saw Zimmer promoting his book, Kitchen Tales, on television. His recipe book was partially plagiarized from the recipes from Steve Garland that Steve Garland would give his students during his cooking lessons before he moved. The article mentions that although recipes are hard to copyright, Garland accompanied each recipe with a short fiction about how he learned it. This usually doubled as a way to remember certain ingredients. Garland Garland's bean salad, for example, involved making a tray with a gnome for some magic beans. Apparently, these stories were found word for word in Zimmer's cookbook, in addition to additional stories that followed the same format. So I guess we can try looking up kitchen tales by, well, this one would be by Zimmer, right? Yeah. Re-release as Garnishing the Truth? What did I spell wrong? What did I fuck up? N-I-S-H-I-N-G, the truth. Fuck you! Whatever. Yeah, I guess I'll have to Google it, maybe. I'll have to spider it. Here. Garnishing the Truth is a cookbook credited to Garland and Zimmer. It was released in 1994. It was actually quite successful after the duo appeared to promote it on a daytime talk show. What? There have been multiple printing since. According to the book review, the recipes are accompanied by stories that help the reader remember the ingredients. The reviewer says that it seems perfect for learning to cook with the entire family. So what, did they end up working together? There. Kitchen Tales, the story-based recipe book credited to Marcus Zimmer that had success after it was featured on a morning talk show. The book released before the internet was widespread, so mentions are rare. One book collector states that the publishers were unprepared for the demand and there was no second printing, so it's unusual to find a copy in the wild. You find an alternative medicine website which focuses on cooking with natural ingredients. It mentions that one of Kitchen Tales' recipes used salt water. The owner of the site has included a scan of the recipe, which is after your evidence. She says, if you switch out the salt water in the recipe for a mix of 2/3 spring water and 1/3 filtered seawater, it tastes great. Alright, whatever. Let's see. You find a scan of one of a website that demonstrates how to bake the plated loaf. For years, two bakers, Flora and Yates, flirted. They grew their friendship, compared recipes, and combined knowledge. She loved his salt and pepper beard. He adored her rosemary cheeks. They thought sweetly about one another. But he was one day whisked away, conscripted to bake the army's bread. By the oil of the lamp, Flora's leechers began to salt her bread. The recipe asked the readers to combine flour, yeast, sugar, olive oil, and rosemary. Combine the salt and water together and add to the mixture and whisk until the dough begins to form. Let's see. It was 10 to 12 years later that they met again. Seemingly by fate, Flora's unique dough had earned her a position as the king's personal baker. And then more ingredients. The Yates had found success as well. He baked for Kingdom's 45 diplomats. One day, they returned from the Dutch Isles with a gift. 450 unbaked loaves and were sent to the palace bakery to teach a method that required no kneading. Okay. Upon seeing Yates, Flora was both delighted and distraught. She felt as if she was torn in two. She had not been made aware of the gift and had already prepared buns for the palace ovens. She wished to greet Yates warmly, but was struck by fears that he'd be unable to bake with her, that she'd face retribution for being unprepared. She cried to Yates, adding more salt to her dough. Yates eased her pain. He insisted she had no obligation to prepare for a return she thought impossible, but he shared her fear of retribution. He knew if they did not solve her predicament, they'd miss their final chance to bake together. In the end, instead of wallowing in the present, they worked together to shape the future. They twisted and entwined their doughs and baked them as one. Thus was born the plated loaf. Word quickly spread of this new delight. The king's decree on royal parchment was that it would be considered a delicacy. Okay. Banged for by the king, Flora and Yates spent their days baking together. They traveled for 45 years, then settled down for 15 more. Their souls were golden with no regrets. What is the point of this? What am I getting from this? Can I take a picture of the bread? It's asking you about, like, allow it to prepare a Dutch oven, cut, sprinkle, roll and do stuff with it, and then bake it. I mean, a nice story, but what am I supposed to get from this? I have no clue. I mean, maybe this 45 years thing, then settle down for 15 more. I don't know. They traveled for 45. It's like the way they word it is it's meant to be like and put Garland and Zimmer as the authors. I mean, we can try. How would I write that? Just like and what is it? It's like Steve Garland. Oh yeah. The introduction of this book is a series of acknowledgments from Steve. The first is, Christine, thank you for everything. Your support means the world to me. You are the apple of my pie. The second is, to James and Robert, you're becoming amazing men and incredible chefs. I guess I'm a good teacher. The final is to Mark Zimmer. You proved my storytelling approach to recipes could be popular. Without you, this book couldn't exist. There is also a foreword by Mark Zimmer. I first met Steve in 1978 when he taught a cooking class. The next time I saw him was over a decade later when he was suing me for stealing his recipes. Yes, really. So you might wonder what I'm doing in this introduction. Well, it turns out that Steve and I had more in common than we thought. Instead of settling in court, we settled it at McCarran's brew house over a game of darts. They said they'd give us the first drink of the night for free for an entire year for mentioning them. By the end of the game, he and I agreed we'd both make a ton of money together, then spend a ton of money on lawyers. It's pretty rare to meet your best friend so late in life, but when I decided to retire, I moved to Boston just so we could hang out. So, if you're browsing this book in a bookstore, please buy our book. We need more money for when the free beer runs out and the bookstore could probably use the sale. Okay. So, yes. So that means that this is not it. It's this. So, Christine goes here. It's Christine something. Then it's Steve. I guess Steven. Because there is no Steve for some reason. It's Garland. And then two children. James and Robert, but I don't know their ages. So I'll just like plug the names in for now and we'll change them if we need to. There. When did this book come out? 94? Okay, so they're probably still children. So they're probably just students. Oh no, but it said men, right? So they could be doing other stuff, but I don't know. They could be in college. I don't know. They're probably in college or have jobs. We'll see. We can look at the bookstore now. We can also look up the brew house. That's true. Let's see. Because we have that, and we also have the bookstore. Whatever it was called. A list of famous people who have had a drink there, including former president of the United States, not of the Roottrees Company, Kennedy. There's also a listing of a television show and books that have mentioned McCarrans, as well as how they came up. One of them is Garnishing the Truth, which the site has this to say about. Local and regular Stevie G wrote a book about food. We were for cocktails, but he gave us a shot, and we ain't gonna say no to free press. So go grab a bite at his kids' joint Fry Die, and then swing by to meet him for a drink. Okay. Friday's a fairly popular restaurant in Boston. They don't have a website, but many locals seem to mention them in various places. One more in-depth review explains that it's not a full restaurant, just a front door and a very small interior with a window. Unusually, the restaurant only serves vegetables. Okay. But a lot of reviews say that in spite of that, it's delicious. You also find a short story about it listed on a website called My Boston Homepage. Whoever runs the page seems to just link to random sites related to Boston, tell personal anecdotes related to Boston, and give their relatively short opinions on things in Boston. It's very unorganized. It has this to say about Fry Die. Wicked overrated. I saw it in Chef's Signature, so I went and there was a huge line and they didn't have a single meat dish. What's even the point? Oh my god. Okay. So now we can look up this magazine. Okay, it gives us the magazine. Then in the magazine, we can look up Fry Die. Okay. Chef's Signature covered Fry Die less than a year ago, right around the time you were doing your initial investigation. Each article in Chef's Signature tends to focus on a restaurant, and like the magazine name implies, each restaurant lists the one main dish that the head chef is known for. Fry Die's signature is the samosa cone. The cover and main article have been added to your evidence. Cool. Man, water's so good. Before we do that, is there anything else like new in this room? I don't think so. I know this is book. Can't really do anything with the book. It's the only book not the same color. No, everything else seems to be the same. Okay. Okay, let's look at the, this. Oh yeah, I assume these are the brothers. Chef's Signature, a nationally published magazine targeted towards fans of unusual restaurants, featured James and Robert Garland on the cover of the November 1998 issue. According to the article, the two brothers own a small walk-up window in Boston called Fry Die, a play on the tie-dye t-shirts that the servers wear, that exclusively serves vegetarian dishes. Good for them. Most of the offerings are heavily inspired by the powerful spices found in Thai and Indian food. Their signature dish is the samosa cone, which serves which from a distance somewhat resembles a traditional ice cream, complete with waffle pattern. Instead, it contains fried potatoes, pureed peas, carrots, and a special ginger-based sauce. Robert, who is 3 years younger than James. Oh, so I have them ordered right. Okay, cool. Jokes that although the age difference has left him delegated to wear the sous chef jacket his whole life, he doesn't mind. As a result, James answers most of the interviewer's questions. James credits his love for food and his culinary skills to the upbringing. Most kids hate vegetables growing up, but they don't have parents like we did. My father was a chef and my mother grew up on a farm that supplied his restaurant. That's how they met. I don't have any memories from the farm or anything like that since we moved here before I could even talk. But they told me stories. My dad's a great storyteller. He even wrote a book that partially helped fund Friday. When we moved, they were looking to open their own restaurant together. Unfortunately, they never got it off the ground. His line cook gig ended up being less temporary than he hoped, and she had to go back to work as a secretary even after Robert was born. Before we were old enough to go to school, we spent our days with my aunt. In the diner where he worked, my dad had no room for experimenting, so he'd exercise his skills at his home on his day off. We'd always go shopping and cook as a family on those days, and even though we were hyper kids running around and causing a ruckus, those were some of our family's favorite memories since we were all together. Mom always had the eye for the best vegetables for him to work with, and she did her best to pass that on to us. According to the article, their parents, who are now retired, visit Friday often. They even have a signature dish, the Sistine Apple. Apple pie has always been my mom's favorite, and my dad always had this stupid line he used to make her laugh involving apple pie. Most people realize it's a Sistine Chapel pun and assume that's all there is, but it's actually secretly named after them, sort of. Okay. Okay, so... What? Okay, so I assume this is Robert, and this is James? No, or, yeah. Because James is the older one, right? Yeah. So, James... Robert, they're both, I assume they're just both chefs. Let's go! We finally got some! Oh, hey!
Has Clark reached out to you? Well, let me give you a short history lesson about the last few months of my life.
Okay.
3 different people contacted me, claiming that somewhere in their history, they might be Roottrees. First, that young man, the rapper. I ignored that one. He seemed dubious. But then I saw the news. I felt terrible. So I began helping the others. Because my doubts with Felix were so misfounded, I ended up putting too much faith in the second person that approached me. I went to the media prematurely. I admit my mistake there. But the third person who contacted me also had a credible case. Before I could help, the company got to them somehow. The fact that the family silenced them doesn't seem to fill me with hope when it comes to Clark's intentions. But you're making progress based on the leads he gave you. It's really hard for me to get a read on him. I'll let you handle it. I've sent you the case I've been working on, and some company records I managed to track down.
Oh boy! Do you mean it?
The records are quite dense, but hopefully they're useful. Good luck.
Yeah, but that means I can probably find people who worked. God, this Nancy Drew game. Look at that character portrait. Okay, so company records probably means that it's just a bunch of people who worked. Yeah. You were given some partial staff records to cross-reference by Sam Madsen. These records are based on old tax mailing information and only detail the employee that worked directly for Roottrees or in their corporate office. The many laborers on their farms and in their factories are not listed. That's fine. You're not sure how helpful it will be except for cross-referencing guys' secretaries and visits overseas. Spider searching people just because they're listening to these books will likely be very time-consuming and a waste of your time. Okay. There's an Elizabeth Cravensworth, but I think that's a different Elizabeth. Because we're looking for secretaries, right? Although it could just be her, yeah. Major expenses, none. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, God. Is it multiple years? Oh, God. I didn't even realize. Whew. In 77, it was announced that Zach would be retiring and Guy would be taking over at the start of 78. They held a retirement party in November before spending the final month working on the transition. These are the changes. Christine Farrow? Okay. So that's probably Christine's last name. So last name Farrow. Also awesome last name. Joanna Robertson is no longer listed amongst the secretaries, but a Joanna Fellows has been added to the list. Okay, so her name was Joanna Robertson. Okay. Were there multiple Joannas? Was that like a thing I would have to figure out? No. We don't have a picture of Christine, and I'd like to find one. Right, Guy replaces Zachariah. Edward Roottrees, Elizabeth Cravensworth, and Lloyd Carpenter no longer employed. Albert Cross and Fred Cross are no longer employed. Christine Garland is no longer working for Roottrees. Oh my god! Presidential office refurbishment, 52,000. 5 pieces flavored development, caviar, 10,000 a month. Retirement, Edward Roottrees retirement party, 7,500. Christmas tree bash, 7,500. New Year's ball, 7,500. Travel expenses, Australia, China, France, Brazil, 190,000. 5 pieces flavor development, butterscotch, 10,000 a month. Caviar, again, 10,000 a month. 4th of July, oh my god, this fucking freak. It apparently too long apparently it took to develop, because apparently they had to do it 2 years in a row. The volatility continued. Many new employees didn't stick around very long. Edward Morrison hired. Edward Morrison no longer employed. Oh my god. Special service interpreter. What was she an interpreter for? Oh, she might have... Okay. She might be an affair. Maybe. We'll have to look into that more. Or something is going on with that one. Because I know they mentioned like he went overseas a lot. For affairs and stuff. So she might be involved in it in some way. Oh my god, Strawberry I don't know how to say this. Shigwa? I think it might be Shigwa. 10,000, butterscotch 10,000, caviar 10. Again? It's still going? And then strawberry still, Shigwa still, butterscotch still, caviar still, more parties. The Grandorf Dove donation? What the fuck is that? Guess we're looking this up. Shigwa is just watermelon in Chinese, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, okay. Let's look this up. The Grandorf School for the Deaf, formerly Grandorf Dove, is located about an hour from where the Roottrees offices used to be in Butler County, but it serves much of that part of Pennsylvania and nearby Ohio. According to their website, it was formerly named Grandorf Dove from 1923 to 1990 because Grandorf was the last name of the founder, and Dove is the Danish word for deaf. The founder had issues with government translators, leading to an odd transcription issue. I mean, if this is a legit donation, then cool. The staff is listed on the website. You scan through all of the biographies and find that the principal, Miss Ford, is fluent in 5 languages, including ASL, American Sign Language. She has been working in the school for over 15 years. Miss Ford's bio also mentions she's not deaf herself, but rather learned sign language to communicate with the deaf. It mentions that she was responsible for securing funding for the Hudson Wing. Oh, no. I really hope not. I really hope not. Oh, man. 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 Let me look up the Hudson Wing. Maybe I'll get a picture. The Hudson Wing was an expansion to Grandorf Dove, now Grandorf School for the Deaf. First built in 1982, it's a separate, much smaller building, half a block from the main campus, and operates as a smaller, independent school that offers free ASL courses for the family members, friends, and caretakers of deaf children. That's cool. According to their history site, they got their name after the president of the Roottrees Company generously donated $250,000 towards the construction of the building. There's also a vague history section that can somewhat fill in with details from other information you've seen about the school. It mentions that the donation came at the insistence of an employee of Roottrees at the time. It mentions that she learned ASL from the main school, before the Hudson Wing even existed. To surprise her future husband, who was deaf, after realizing how useful a service like this could be to non-deaf people that wish to better serve those with hearing issues, she convinced Roottrees management to invest in the school. The Hudson Wing opened and she became the first teacher at the new campus. At first, it was only operated on weekends, but since then it has added afternoon classes on some weekdays. Oh, man. What was her name? It was, We Have It. Susan Ford. I don't know if I'll find anything here on the internet. No. Shit. Maybe in periodicals and Butler County Times, maybe? No. Shit. Because, like, I would not be surprised if it was an affair. What if I look it up in periodical? Hold on, what if I do that? Grandorf. Here. The Butler County Times archives include what seems like an endless list of snow cancellations, extracurricular activities, and weekend events that began over 70 years ago and stretched until the last mentioned 1990. Amongst the avalanche of useless information, you almost miraculously discover one useful article. Grandorf Dove was at the center of a crime article from 1982. It seems that someone defaced the school and vehicles outside of the brand new Hudson wing of the school. There were multiple broken windows, and one of the teacher's cars was painted with profanities and accusations of infidelity. Yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna find a picture of her, though. Yeah, because that's confirmation, unfortunately. Guy Hudson died in May of 1982, so the first few months of the year continued along the same pattern as they had been. Things quickly changed when Ernie took over. Most of the extraneous expenses ended, and all of the secretaries, most handpicked from Guy Hudson, were let go. Sam Medson left Roottrees in 1984, so this is the last set of books you have access to. Yeah, so in 82, Ernest Matson Jr. replaces. Carl Roottrees joins as special management. Yeah, Susan Ford is no longer employed by Roottrees. Be hired. Angela Ingram, Linda Lewis, and Catherine Garrett are no longer employed by Roottrees. From here on out, no secretaries are directly employed by Roottrees. Roottrees instead uses a temp agency called Work Time Temp. Okay. I'm gonna just highlight this. Because I'm probably gonna need this. Maybe. Oops. Oh my god, canceled after 5 months. Oh my god, sugar plum, strawberry, shigua, butterscotch. Oh my god. Oh my god. Caviar still. Dude could not figure out the caviar. He could not figure it out. Dude was losing his mind. Timeline-wise, the interpreter would be the final affair. Maybe, yeah, that would make sense. I could definitely believe it. Just because, like, yeah. I wish there was a way I could find out, because what was her name again? I already forgot. Susan Ford? What would be here? Yeah. Oh god, I just clicked out. Please come back, thank you. Hudson Wing. How about Hudson Wing, Susan Ford? Shit. How about just Susan Ford? Shit. Unless she wasn't... No, that wouldn't make any sense. I don't know where I'm going to find more information about her. I don't. I do think, yeah, timeline-wise, she probably is the last one. Oh, oops. And she is probably still a teacher. Or not. Or not. Maybe she's not a teacher. Translator? Professor? I don't know. We'll have to find more information. I'm gonna put unknown. Whatever. Okay. Let's look at some of the other stuff we've got. This is someone. I assume that's Guy. This photo was given to you by Sam Matson. A woman named Regina Clementine came to her and claimed that her husband has confessed he thinks he's a Rootree. The details of this case can be found in your evidence. Stuart is the older boy wearing a vest. The woman in the photo is Mary Beth Clementine, a singer who may have had an affair with Miracle Rootree. Okay. Well, we did say he probably had an affair, so you know. So from 6pieces@prodigy.us to genealogy genie@prodigy.us, this is all the information I have about Regina Clementine. Nay Salazar? I don't, okay. From New Orleans. Oh, was that like her original last name? I think is what that means. From New Orleans, Louisiana, and her husband Stuart Clementine. She wrote me about a month ago. Apparently, the Rootree lawyers went after her since then. By the time I received her letter and called her, she told me she couldn't cooperate anymore. Her husband, who was a police officer and never knew his father, told her he thought he might be a Rootree, but he's estranged from his family and didn't want to pursue it because he had no proof. She wrote to me behind his back. Normally I wouldn't be so sure, but she has some pretty credible facts. Some of it I've been able to confirm. Stuart's mother was named Mary Beth Clementine. She was pretty well known in the 30s to 50s. A singer who went on tour to a lot of churches. You can look her up online, and she was a pretty big proponent of adoption. I know for a fact that she came to Butler County a few times. I remember her from when I was younger. And Regina said that Stuart told her that they always seem to spend a lot of time at the Miracle Church. She sent me a photo to prove that she's who she says she is. I've attached it to this email. Sam Madsen, 6 pieces, Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family is out now. Please consider saving a tree and not printing this email. Okay. So I guess that's Miracle. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So Miracle, Mary Beth Clementine, and then Stuart. Huh. Where would this fall under, though? Whoa, I didn't see this. I didn't put this together yet. Two people from the original family tree had an affair with each other. I didn't see that. I didn't even notice that. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. This family is so fucked. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's probably this one. Is my guess, maybe? Because it's the only one that really makes any sense. Because I think we said that this one is Elias and someone named Elizabeth. guess. I think. Maybe. So this is probably Miracle. Who is a preacher still. And I guess this is supposed to be Clementine, whatever her name is. Mary, is it Mary Beth Clementine? Occupation was nope. Musician. We could probably look her up if she was famous. I mean, probably here, right? Mary Beth Clementine. Came to Butler County a few times and played religious hymns at the Miracle Congregation's church. She's mentioned 2 times through the first visit from 1949 was significantly, though the first visit from 1949 was significantly more substantial. Miracle Congregation welcomes Mary Beth Clementine with open arms. The article mentions the church's leader was moved when he heard Mary Beth's recording of one of his favorite hymns. His eye is on the sparrow, and reached out to her personally. His Eyes on the Sparrow holds a very special meaning to me. As you know, I've had a very difficult upbringing, and it's no secret that my own eyes have always been a source of struggle. The song is about overcoming sadness and hardship through Jesus. If God can find a way to watch over every sparrow, he can certainly watch over those made in his image. My family's fortune does me no good as a man of the Lord. It's much better spent spreading his word, and I've felt a kinship with Mary Beth ever since I heard her voice. Yeah, when I learned her personal story, I knew I had to help her in whatever way I could. The Bible is full of adoptions, from Moses to Esther. Spending your life taking care of those helpless to help themselves is incredibly noble. She and her son are always welcome to stay in our guest home. The second visit was a few years later in 1953. The article mentions that her first visit was a massive success, and at the insistence of Miracle's congregation, she returned for an encore performance. It also mentions that the unusual circumstances of her second son's adoption have prevented her from touring recently, but doesn't clarify. Okay, yeah, so she does have 2 children. Oh, God. Okay. And I wonder if we can look her... Oh, she's probably not in Modern Music Monthly, but I'll try. Oh, yeah. Many times in Modern Music Monthly, but the most popular recording was the release cover. He's got the whole world in his hands. It was released under the label New Edison. Okay, so maybe we can look up New Edison. Modern Music Monthly had a very positive review of her cover. The review had nothing to say about Mary Beth herself, so it's not of much use to your investigation. There was also some other Mary Beth Clementine releases that appeared over the years. One of them was The Old Rugged Cross, which is the only song that was advertised but not reviewed. Okay, so let's look up New Edison, because maybe she has a picture there. Small record label based in Los Angeles that existed for a few years in the 40s. It raced to release cover records of songs that were gaining popularity. Its biggest claim to fame is being sued by the estate of Thomas Edison in Edison Records v. Edsel. You also found a few references to New Edison and Mary Beth Clementine on sites about old records. One collector says that the Holy Grail is a re-release of Old Rugged Cross, and says that the first edition was originally published before she legally changed her name. Oh, what? Oh, that's right, because she married. Another site claims that the police had to be called to New Edison Records after its owner, Sterling Edison, got into a physical altercation in public, leading to a divorce. There are no cited sources or evidence, and the site's content seems user-submitted, though an email address at the bottom of the phrase "Send me your stories about old Hollywood" are not added to the page. Okay, there's a few things we can look up. Let's look up Edison Records v. Edsel. Let's see what this is about. Also, I guess I'll make a new page, other than Guy Hudson is a horrible human being. This will just be about Mary Beth Clementine. First, there was named after Thomas Edison. The company seems very unimportant. Because the name of the lawsuit was actually the biggest problem for the person being sued. A record producer who called himself Edison was immediately outed as not actually being named Edison. Edsel was a German last name, and at the time of the founding of the company, the US was at war with Germany. The company's founder immediately settled to try to get the case to go away, but the damage was done. Oh, okay. So let's look up Sterling Edison. I think it's the same thing, right? Yeah. Okay, let's look up the old rugged cross. Fuck. Oh, also, I'm a fool. I don't need a picture of her. She's right here. She did change her name, but I don't know what she changed her name to. I need to find the old rugged cross thing, but I don't know where to look that up. Here it is. When it was first reviewed, however, it listed the artist as Mary Beth Quaker. There we go. Okay, and then this is Stuart. Wait. Because I assume this is supposed to be Miracle, right? I don't know. So this is Stuart something. I assume it's Stuart Clementine. Who is a police officer. Yeah, okay. Let's go! Now who is gonna knock at my door and possibly scare me? No one? Okay, fair. Fair. Oh, right, it even said that. Yeah, we have a few more. We need 4 more. This is Regina Clementine. We know that. And then I assume this is the sibling. But I have no clue. Because we'll need more information on that. Yeah, there is an Elizabeth Cravensworth who could be the person who who Elias had an affair with. Maybe we can find more in Butler County Times. I don't know. Elizabeth Cravensworth. Nothing. Not great. How about just online? Nothing. Well. What was the website? Work temp. It was in here. It's on the last page. Work time temp. Okay, so there's nothing about it. All right, whatever. Oh yeah, we don't have a picture of Christine. She was like I don't know, like a produce, I don't know, farmer maybe? But I don't have a picture of her. I also don't know her original. Oh no, we know her. It's Pharaoh. Yeah. Is anyone on the worker list under Elias the name that starts with a B or BE? Because we only have Beth McKay and then Ken's gonna have speech impediments. That's true. That's true. I don't think so. Well, the thing is, we won't have any records from that far back, because Elias would have been the first president, and Zach is the second. But I guess it's possible. Well, no, because that actually makes sense. Because yeah, no, that makes sense. We'll see. There's Edward Roottrees, Lloyd Carpenter, Carl Monroe, Elizabeth Cravensworth, and there's Eli C. There's Juliet McCullen, Joanna Robertson, Doris Mays, and Beth Knox. Could be Beth Knox. Because that's Beth. But I don't even know where I would go from there. Would she appear in a periodical? Probably not. It could be Elizabeth, but I feel like they would use the full name. You know what I mean? But it's possible, yeah. Elizabeth Knox. Nope. One second. Let's back away from this, because I feel like I don't have enough information to really go on that road yet. We know it's something, it's Elizabeth something, and that they were a secretary, probably. Did it ever mention who the adoption was for Oh, I wonder if I can look her up. Hold on. It would have been Mary Beth Quaker, right? Okay, I guess maybe just pre-internet then. so there wouldn't be much about it. Oh, did I ever read this? Was a singer most popular in the years between 1942 and 1959. She traveled around the country performing at churches. Her repertoire was a mix of religious and popular songs, and although she recorded a few records, they seemed lost to time. The only one you find mentioned was a cover of He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, released under the label New Edison. One thing Mary Beth was known for was her adoption. She's listed on many sites that mention adoption and the history of adoption. She adopted 2 children in the 1940s, Stuart and Mark. Okay. So this is probably Mark Clementine. Okay. She also spoke as an advocate for the benefits of adoption in front of the United States Congress in 1949. Who were convening to debate and discuss the then recent first adoption of an African-American child to a white family in the United States. She was specifically there to detail her experience going through the system to adopt Stuart. Her other son was adopted later, and according to a single line on one adoption site, under unusual circumstances. What? In 1959, it surfaced that Mary Beth had been twice divorced, both times to her manager Sterling. This ended her career with the religious audience she had been catering to, and while she performed occasionally since then, she mostly faded into obscurity. Jesus. Okay. She passed away at the age of 76 of a stroke. I spelled it wrong. Nope, still nothing. Okay. Ah, well, I tried. Because I think his name was Sterling Edison. Edison. Yeah. Oh, right, but his real name wasn't Edison, it was... Oh, God, I already forgot. Edsel, maybe? Yeah, it's Edsel, so his name is actually Sterling Edsel. Fuck. Oh, that's right. That would be her husband, so we could find that. Oh, we could just put that in. I don't have a picture for him, though. Oh, you know where I can probably find a picture for it? Hold on. Nope. After he was no longer newsworthy. Shit. So even Edison is not on here? Well, it is, but not him. It's possible he created a new company. Let's see. Well. Unless this is Edsel. Maybe. I don't know. We also don't really have much information on Mark Clementine. Like, at all. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of things about reminders. I know. No, yeah, Lee, I had the same idea. That's why I put his picture there. I guess we can look up Mark Clementine. Oh, Crocodile Clementine? That's awesome. Oh, it's a list of criminals, though, so not as awesome. Crocodile Clementine is listed on a website titled The Infamy List. It's a massive list of criminals who are known for odd crimes. Although Mark's nickname would imply he hails from Florida, a lot of others on the list come from there, or Australia, Mark is listed as being from Los Angeles. He has a pretty big entry. He seems like a real piece of work. There's a very small note about him being the basket baby of 1950. But most everything else comes from his adulthood. He lost his job in 1975 as a pilot for a regional airline after he tried to board the wrong airline's plane. He was drunk. He was charged with trespassing and assault. Oh my god. In 82, he was arrested for transporting smuggled animals over the Canadian and Mexican borders for an illegal reptile supplier in Los Angeles. He was apparently quite successful in the first 4 years, but he was caught when he had to make an emergency landing in Portland after he was bit on the foot by a crocodile, hence the nickname. Apparently, the Portland Telegraph is credited as having given him his nickname. His mugshot from the incident has been added to your photos. In 1993, he was released on parole, but his freedom didn't last long. He was arrested in 94 in San Diego for violating it in an attempt to visit his daughter's graduation. He famously punched the principal, a man named Billy Sims. The incident received national press. Oh my god. Water's so good. Yeah, no, I'll look up Basket Baby in 1 second. Let me just check something. Okay. There's a lot of things we can look up. Let me first see if I can get this as like a magazine, like a periodical. Yep, there we go. Is your run-of-the-mill newspaper based out of Portland, Oregon. They have a website with a lot of dry statistics about how many subscribers they have, how many issues they have been, and the awards they have won. Okay, now we can look up the Basket Baby of 1950. And this is probably going to refer to the unusual circumstances thing. Okay. A few sites about true stories focused on and around religion mentioned that in 1950, a gospel singer named Mary once found herself dealing with a real-life baby Moses situation. Apparently, she was a rather prominent supporter of the concept of adoption, and someone decided to test how much. They left a baby on her doorstep in a basket. According to the sites, she adopted him without question, and raised him as her own son. Although it wasn't national news, in many circles he became known as the Basket Baby, and even went on tour with her as he grew up. None of the websites state who the woman or baby were, likely to prevent people from looking into either of the people too closely. From context, you know that it's Mary Beth Clementine, who would later be shunned due to her personal life, and her son Mark, who would later be known as Crocodile Clementine. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there he is. Arrested for smuggling reptiles into the United States. Criminal? Jail. Smuggler? What would his career be? Oh, I guess that would be his last official job, yeah. Okay. We can probably look up... let's go back, because I don't think there's anything else I need here. Oh, I thought I already put his mugshot in there. Oh, I can put his mugshot here, but it's the same person. I'll put it in after we fill it out. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here that I would need. Maybe just remember the Baby Moses stuff, like the basket stuff. I don't know. Okay, yeah, so Billy Sims. Maybe we'll look up this in the periodical. The Portland Telegraph had an article slightly longer than most about the Billy Sims incident, mostly because the assaulter, Crocodile Clementine, had appeared in the paper before. Because of the somewhat comedic sensationalism of the events in question, and because the readers were already familiar with Mark Clementine, they filed it under a special banner called Croc Watch. It mentions that our good friend Croc Clementine was actually in attendance at the high school graduation because his daughter was walking the stage. He was apparently not allowed to attend. His ex-wife had a restraining order filed on behalf of her daughter. Wow, but did so anyways. It was unknown to the school staff, including Sims at the time, who he was, but a security guard recognized him, and that's when trouble started. Clementine was approaching the side of the stage to try to avoid the guard, when the exchange between him and Sims took place. The article finishes the... Jesus Christ. Finishes by... you know what? Word. Asking, what will Croc get up to next? Stay tuned for more Croc Watch. Unfortunately for your investigation, as far as you can tell, there were no more instances of Croc Watch. Okay. How about I just look up Crocodile Clementine, because I'm sure they have more information. I don't know what I will get about from the whole Billy Sims thing, but we'll see. The Portland Telegraph was the one that provided the nickname Crocodile. He was flying between Los Angeles, Juarez, and Vancouver in a small plane. His flights were very low, literally under the radar. He was only caught because he was bit by a crocodile in the leg, and he had to call in a mayday because he was losing blood. He tried to tell them that he was a crop duster who somehow cut his leg on a loose piece of metal in the cockpit, but his story seemed very odd, and controllers quickly alerted the police without informing him. When he landed, they were waiting, and he was promptly arrested. I was hoping to find something about, like, the wife and the daughter, but I can't. No more instances of Croc Watch. Can I look up Croc Watch? No, okay. Nothing on Mark Clementine. It's the same thing. Yeah. What if I looked him up in Butler County, even though I don't think it matters? Yeah. Oh, like a news time? Oh my god. News did a small piece about a fight between Sims and Crocodile, but tried to approach it from a different perspective. Their goal was to paint a picture of the two men involved from others who knew them best. Not only did they manage to interview Sims' wife, Carla, as well as multiple staff members at his school, but they hunted down Colleen Webb, Mark's ex-wife. According to the section with Colleen, she and he met when he worked for an airline. She worked at in an airport newsstand. He was a drinker and would often have wild mood swings. Jesus. When he was charged with assault of a fellow pilot in 1975 and lost a job, they divorced. At the time, she was pregnant with their second daughter, and she felt she needed to get out before things got worse. She left him and moved to San Diego to live with her sister, and told her oldest that her dad had to fly planes for the army. She raised them both by herself, and although she never went through the trouble of changing her name legally, they used the web name so that nobody would connect them to her ex-husband. So her name is Colleen Webb. And then two daughters, a youngest and an oldest. I wish I could find information about her. How about Carla Sims? No. Right, they would definitely be surname Webb. That's well. No, yeah. I had a thought that was false. Oops. Okay. I wish there was a school. Was there ever a school name? I don't think so. Was it Ben Sims? No, it wasn't. It was Billy Sims, right? Yeah, same thing. It just said that she moved to San Diego. What if I look up San Diego? You think I'll get anything? Maybe I'll get a new magazine. Who knows? Any other big news sources? Maybe. I mean, we have Butler County, but we looked it up already. We got the Portland Telegraph, which we looked up already. Not really. I think we already looked it up in Portland County, but this happened somewhere else. Yeah, it just seems redundant with basic information you can find about the incident from the internet. What was her name? Colleen Webb? Shit. I feel like we've hit a roadblock, and I don't know how to get out of it. It's true. It has been 3 hours. So what we will do is, before I start beating my head against the wall, we'll probably wrap up. And we will return to this. I think that's the best way to handle it. Whew. Okay, but yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. We will continue this sometime next week. I don't have a schedule out yet, so I will post that tomorrow. This will be up tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you next week. Okay? Smile. Goodbye.